What's up, Falcon fans and non-Falcon fans? On today's episode of Falcon Cave, where I'll discuss a Falcon topic, and you guys, the audience, will either love it or hate it. If you guys love it, hit that like button. If you guys hate it, hit that dislike button. It won't hurt your boy's feelings. Well, maybe just a little bit. But also, if you want to do a huge favor for your boy by hitting that subscribe button, it helps out with the empire grow tremendously. So on that note, let's talk about today's topic, where I think two good candidates for the Atlanta Falcons defense to really step up their game and to really help this defense, hopefully and maybe and probably, to become a top 10 defense. And I think Arnold Ebiketie and Bud Dupree are two very good candidates in helping us create pressure, to create turnovers, and obviously get us sacks. And then the most important thing is to win us Falcon games. So let's just go into the details and the nitty and gritty about everything. So let's start out with our rookie pass rusher this season. Now, we got Arnold Ebiketie from the draft in 2022 that the Atlanta Falcons trade up with the New York Giants. So the Falcons gave their second and fourth round selection, the 43rd and the 114th overall, to the New York Giants in exchange for the second round selection with the 38th pick. So, there's a couple of reasons why I love watching his game. First of all, his motor is definitely noticeable on display. I love his speed. I love his flexibility when he bends and angles his body, where he can contort himself, where he gets one-on-one matchups against the offensive line. I think he does an incredible job as a rookie. And now let's talk about the stats, because a lot of times when you look at the stat sheets, they're not too impressive. But remember, sometimes stats don't tell the whole story, because remember, it is a 60-minute game, and he didn't really start that much as a rookie. And so a lot of times he didn't get the proper snap accounts or adjusted where he can truly roam free, right? So now let's talk about his productivity, because that's a good outlier for the upcoming 2023 season. Now, I know some people will say, hey, that was last year and now this is this year. I get it. But we can kind of see or hint where he could be trending or not trending. It just depends. But what we do know, what he accomplished, there's something there. So on that note, when it comes to outside linebackers, he ranked 51 out of all of them when it comes to total of solo tackles. That was 21. Okay, so for the assists, he had 9 assists, and out of all the outside linebackers, he was ranked number 80. Okay, so when it comes to sacks, well, that's pretty low. It's 2.5. So out of all the outside linebacker pass rusher specialists, he ranks 84. So obviously, we want him to improve on that statistic, right? But what is really indicative of all of that is what he accomplished when it comes to quarterback pressures, right? He had 19. That ranks 53. That's pretty good. When it comes to quarterback hits, that's 11. That's pretty good as well. Now, for forced fumbles, he had 2. For pass deflections, that's 2 as well. So you kind of see the connection there. And then for total tackles for losses, that's 3. That's also not bad as a rookie. Remember, he only got the start in one game this entire season. So I think what we kind of see is that he's almost close to the milk and honey, but he just needs to capitalize on that. Because remember, out of all those quarterback hits with 11, he can easily had over 8+ sacks if certain situations went his way. Now, what I thought he did a good job when it came to New Orleans, he had 3 quarterback pressures, 1 sack, then, 1 total tackle. So that just tells you, he was getting up in everybody's business. And then, against Carolina in week 8, he did again with 3 quarterback pressures, plus with those 2 tackles. Now, with the Washington Commanders, he had 2 tackles and then 2 quarterback pressures. And then when it came to, I think, his best game against the Chicago Bears in week 11, he had 6 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 quarterback pressures, and 2 tackles for loss. So I actually can't remember, did he start that game? And if he did, that shows that he has the potential to really become a menace in the backfield. Oh, I totally forgot about this, but if you guys rewatched the entire game when it came to the Cleveland Browns in week 4, and you guys realize how much Arnold Ebiketie was such a terror for the Cleveland Browns offensive line, it is scary good. Yes, in stat-wise, he only had 1 tackle, right? But if you look at the quarterback pressure, he had 7 of those. So if we could just imagine, if he just hit on the quarterback maybe like 2 to 5 times, that's how credible, gifted this kid is with his motor and his willingness to pursue the quarterback. So guys, if you just kind of forgot about that, that's what I feel like Arnold Ebiketie can bring to us in 2023. So now let's talk about Bud Dupree. So there's no denying that he's very talented. The major issue is his health concerns, because last season he was kind of banged up, but he still had 4 sacks, right? And then he had 22 quarterback pressures, 5 tackles for losses. So that's not that bad, including with 14 solo tackles and 4 assists. And then we can't forget about quarterback hits, and that was 9. So obviously there's nothing wrong with his pass rushing durability, because he can get it in any single time and day. But the problem is, like I stated, is games. So in his entire career, he played 103, right? But he started 83 of them. And the reason why is because of injury concerns that we have seen him been plaguing him since 2016 through 2022. With arms, legs, head, in the stomach area, there are pretty significant damages, I think. He missed a couple of 1 week through, 2 weeks through, 3 week kind of games. So he definitely missed. Now, and then also can't forget about his, his torn Achilles that he suffered a couple of years back in 2020. And then, he had another ACL tear in 2021. I feel bad for my boy, because my boy is so talented. He's so gifted, and he still wants to play football. And that's the thing. He wants to play, even though he's getting banged up and nicked up in gruesome situations, that he loves the game of football. And that's something you cannot teach. It's passion for the game. And I truly think that we have a stud in him if he becomes healthy enough. If you guys lasted this long to the very end, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much for taking your own personal day and time watching this content. I love making Falcon videos for you guys. So on that note, what do Falcons do? Rise up. Until the next episode, show love and peace to the world, and peace.